Way, there we are. One sec. Let me sort everything out. I think we're okay on here. Yeah, I'm muted on that. So we are cool. I've not done this setup for a while, so I was a little bit nervous before this stream because I was thinking, is this gonna work? Okay, is this gonna work how I want it to? I think it's coming out all right. I've just got to double check on here. Just make sure this is muted. Bear with me, I'm just making sure the stream's okay, because as I say, I've not done it on this format for quite a while. Just loading here. Well, it's a bit laggy, isn't it? Maybe it looks a bit... Actually, no, it's okay. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah, so we are on. Yeah, so I've not done this format for a while, and I thought I'd bring it back for today's video, since we are doing a little reflection. Now, of course, because I'm streaming through OBS, there won't be guests on this stream, because obviously I don't know how you get guests on OBS or anything like that. But yeah, I thought we'd just do a little sort of me-only Thursday talks, and just having a bit more interaction with the chat, because I know last week, I couldn't really get round to any of the messages in the chat. And, there's so many people on and everything. I thought it makes a nice contrast this week to be back to basic, looking at the people in the chat, not having any guests on, and just simply being able to interact with you guys on the stream a little bit more. So, we have a few people pouring in. So we've got the Vinegar Jar, which I believe is Peter. We've got Tracy. We've got Ian, we've got Fat Girl Sewing, we've got Dazza the Flipper. Yeah, so anyway, so that's a few people popping in. If any more people pop in, I will obviously shout them out in a second. So, of course, today we are doing a little bit of a reflection and a donation total reveal, all centered around last week's 12-hour stream. Now, I already had the idea to kind of do a reflection. That was kind of the whole idea behind this stream the week after, and doing the kind of total reveal and stuff. But I was on a stream with Tommy and Tracy a few days ago. I think it was the weekend, was it? Maybe it was Saturday or Sunday. But Tommy had the idea as well. He said to me, oh, you should really do like a reflection video on it. And it just affirmed to me really that I should do, a video or a live stream kind of reflecting on last week's sort of stream and things like that. So that's what we're doing today. So if you have any questions, if you have anything, to say about the stream or anything, pop them in the chat. Otherwise, if you have any general questions, I'll get to those as well. So it really doesn't matter what the content of the questions are. But yeah, anything you want to whack in the chat, please do so. And we'll get on. And first off, before we do the total reveal, because obviously I want to make sure there's a few more people in here, so that then I don't have to repeat myself about 4 times on what the total is, although I'll probably end up doing that anyway, because you know what I'm like. But first off, I wanted to do a thank you to people who donated, and I want to read out a few of people's comments, so I hope people don't mind me reading out their comments. I'm not going to read out the amount they donated. I don't know why, but I've just thought, should I do that or shouldn't I? But I thought I'll leave that off. And I'm just going to read out the comments from people. I will, however, be giving a special thank you to about 4 or 5 people who did donate a lot of money. And I want to do like a special thank you to them. Also, before we get into this, I want to do a general thank you to everyone who was watching last week and everyone who could make it, for actually those who were participating in the stream. Without the people in the stream, without the fellow resellers who actually came on and obviously I want to say sacrifice, but it's not quite the right word. I suppose it is, but it's maybe a bit over-exaggerating. But who kind of took time out of their day. That's a better way to phrase it. The people who took time out of the day to come on, I mean, it was basically everyone else who made it. If it was just me sat there for 12 hours, it would have been a lot more boring. So, it was everyone else who made it, really. And I have to say a big thank you to those who were in the stream with me. So, I am gonna read. I'm on one of the pages here. I think this is the Macmillan Cancer Support page. So I'm just gonna go back to the live stream very quick, see if we've got anyone else in. So we have. Is it Chris Thrift Beast CQ? I think it's Chris. I met you on the stream with Tommy and Tracy the other day, didn't I? We've got who else in there? We've got Alan in there. We've got. I think that's oh, Big Girls Really Do Cry, that's Lainey. Yeah, I think that's about everyone for now. So yeah, basically I will go ahead and read out a few of these messages from the people who donated on the Macmillan Cancer Support. So we had 44 supporters. Now, of course, a few of those are anonymous, so it might have been less than that. It might have been maybe about 30 actual people, but maybe a few people donated multiple times. But yeah, we had 44 supporters on this page. We had Darren Smart, let's get ads past his goal. Great causes, well done, buddy. DBG says, great job, ads, well done. Thrift BCQ, who's actually in the chat tonight, said, great cause. We had someone anonymous saying, I don't need to see some... What? I don't even get that comment, but he said, he or she says, I don't need to see something I can never unsee. I don't know whether that's a troll or what. I don't know, but anyway. Maybe there was something on the stream at a particular moment that made them comment that. I don't know. We've got Trevor Hills supporting Macmillan for the future. Well done on your achievement ads. Julie Pearson for a good cause. Well done. 1 second, I've got to click show more here. Rory O'More, I saw you in one of the chats. I think it was this afternoon. The chat I was in this afternoon with Andrew. Oh my! Why there's another comment on here? I'm not going to read this one out, but. Did that actually happen? I mean, if Rory watches this back, did that actually happen? I'm talking about your comment on the Macmillan Cancer Support. Maybe when I was out of the room that happened. I don't even know. Fritz Steele, I think that's how you pronounce their name. All the support from us in the Netherlands for this great goal. Someone from the Netherlands. Suzanne M, who is actually one of my mum's friends, she donated. Well done, Adam, a very good cause. Catherine Hill, well done, ads. Kim Kelly, well done, ads. And guests, you are all amazing. And I want to as well say, it wasn't just me, it was the guests. I know there's a lot of messages saying, you know, it's my achievement and everything here. I know I organised it, I know I did a good bit of work for it, and I don't take that away from myself, but it was the guests as well. So these messages, I want these to be reflected in the guests who joined me as well. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I know a lot of people were thankful of the guests joining as well to make it what it was. Lex says, love the carpet ads. I don't know what she's meaning by that. Maybe the suit. I'm not sure. Maybe the suit looked like a carpet. I'm not sure. My father and my mother, who currently survived and is clear. No more words. Good luck, ads. Postman Dave. So that's Dave Rowland. Anonymous. Someone gave 40 quid. David Macmillan. That's David M. the carpet picker. I'll be doing a special shout out in a bit for David. He says great cause. Anonymous. Well done, ads. Stu Mandry, well done, ads. Proud to in brackets sort of know you. Derek Payne, we've got I don't think you left a message. Matt RBD, I don't know who that is. Ads, well done on the Ecopic live stream. And with all the great guests helping to raise money for great causes. Wow, there's a lot of these messages. I'm amazed. This was from Tea Cakes. It actually says anonymous, but then it says Tea Cakes in the message. Good work, ads. Cheers, ads. Ronnie Lamborn. Now, I think I know who Ronnie is. I think Ronnie is the person who goes live with Andrew quite a lot. And he's one of the people I want to do a special shout out for in a little bit as well. So Josh Kim, a lot of Josh. Great charity stream by an awesome person for an amazing cause. Thank you very much. Ashley, well done, ads, great cause. Mel, Sparrow's End, thanks for supporting a charity close to my heart right now. Claire, a fantastic organisation that does such valuable work. JD, who is Joshy, I think his nickname's Joshy. So he's just put a love heart. Anonymous, well done. And then I think we're getting right to the end now. Phoebe says, great cause, ads. Thanks for everything you are doing to raise money and awareness. I lost my mum and dad to cancer a few years ago, so I know they need every penny they can get. We've got Richard Payne, great cause, dad. Thanks for the 12-hour stream. Lainey Hill, Leanne Hill, cancer has affected me plus members of my family. I'm so far one of the lucky ones, thankfully. We Love Reseller, well done ads, great causes chosen for the 12-hour stream. Andrea Hills, obviously you all know Andrea, well done ads, great thing to do, congrats on growing your channel. Antoinette Daly, long time supporter of the channel, she didn't put a message but I just wanted to shout her out as well. Caroline, always making lemonade, who's on, love this charity, my sister died of a brain tumour last year, so this is very close to my heart, thanks for organising this ads. Shelley Hawkins, and many thanks to Macmillan for the support they provide to so many. Darren Smart, again, Darren actually donated on 2 consecutive days. Yesterday was 9 years to the day that I lost my mum to cancer. Macmillan helped her in her final days. It's a great cause and hopefully one day we can beat it forever. And then Karin said, great charity, looking forward to the stream. And then someone else donated who was anonymous. Right, so that's all the messages from Macmillan, so I just wanted to cover that. I now want to just have a look in the chat, so I'm back over at the chat. I apologise if I missed anything in the chat. It doesn't look like it's going crazy, so we're okay. I think people are just starting to kind of flood in and stuff. So we've got Crispy. Oh, the anonymous comment was mine. It was to stop Andrew undressing. Oh, right, I know which one you're on about. Okay, I get it. Adrian's in. Hi there, Adrian. We've got Double Karma in. Andrew Nolan was threatening to go naked on after... oh, right, okay, I get it. Add some of these comments are from Andrew's after stream on Friday. Yeah, actually, that's the other thing. I'll do that in a minute. Thank you for reminding me, Ian. Yeah, actually, I may as well do that now. So... basically, £300 out of the total that I'm going to share with you in a little bit was basically raised by Andrew on the I think it was the next day. Was it the next day or was it the day before? Yeah, it was the next day, wasn't it? It was on the Friday. He basically did a Drinking with Andrew episode, and he, basically raised an extra 300 quid for the charities. So a huge shout out to Andrew from Money Mental UK. He's got a YouTube channel. If you want to go over to his channel, as I say, it's Money Mental UK. And yeah, that was fantastic as well. So huge shout out to him for raising an extra £300 and for obviously pushing it as far as we got as well. So yeah, I do want to just give a little bit of a shout out to him. So yeah, thank you very much to Andrew. So I think since we've not got any more comments on the chat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the Mind UK one now, and we're going to read out a few of those comments, and then we shall do the total. And well, just before we do the total, I'll do another couple of special shout outs to a few people. Where are we now? It's this one, Mind UK. Yeah. I'll do a few other shout outs to people who did basically donate a lot of money as an individual kind of thing. So we've got loads more. We've got oh my god, we've had 70 supporters on this one, so it might take a while to read out these comments. What I might do is read out about half and then go back to the chat, so then I'm not missing out too much from the chat. So, and if people haven't left a comment, I might read out the name very quickly, but obviously there's no comment to read out. So, 70 supporters on this one. We've got Laney Ray, just amazing ads, well done, thank you very much. Margaret, well done, you have done a great job. Darren Smart, again, Darren actually was one of the people who donated a lot of money. So again, I'm going to do a little bit of a shout out to him in a minute. We've got Lee, well done ads. Richard Payne again, who's donated. Actually, Richard donated a fair bit of money as well. I think on the other page he donated the same amount here. Great cause, keep your clothes on. I think that was to Andrew. Zoe Patrick donated. Shannon, good job on the stream and on everyone's hard work. I can't spare much, but well, no, every little helps, and every little help to actually get us to the goal. So I appreciate anyone who donated any amount. Anonymous says well done. Susie Sells donated, obviously with no message there. Matthew Goimer, who's been on Andrew's stream, good lad, great stream, great work. Catherine Hill donated again on this page. Kim Kelly, well done ads. Donna has put a load of love hearts. I don't know which Donna that is. I do know a few Donnas in the community. The Monocle, who is a regular of the channel. Amazing fundraiser for a worthy cause. Daniel Parkin, well done ads. Incredible what you are doing. And hope more people donate. and then, yeah, basically put something about the amount there, but I'm not going to read that out. Flipping Particles donated. Chris B donated. Reson Polly donated. Well done, ads. David McMillan donated again. A special shout out to David in a little bit. Shauna McMillan donated. Well done, ads. Brought back memories of 24-hour telethons when I was a kid. Yeah, that's actually funny because when I was doing the stream, and before the stream, I kind of had that in mind. I listened to well, I didn't listen to all of it, but Chris Moyles, when he was back on Radio 1, did a radio marathon thing of 24 or 36 hours, and that's always been in my mind when I was planning the stream and stuff. So yeah, it definitely had a bit of that vibe to it. Lisa C donated. Thanks for supporting this cause, ads. Charity Shop Caitlin donated. Well done, ads. Great cause and a great stream. Anthony Pittsburgh donated. Thanks for doing this, ads. Well done, ads. Enjoyed today's stream. Anonymous. Well done, ads. You're smashing it. Anonymous. Well done on the live stream. Anonymous. Zahir donated. Great cause. I don't think I've seen some of these comments and stuff, so it's nice to go through. Derek donated again on this other on the other page. Anonymous, again, Anonymous, happy to help. Anonymous, great live stream for a great charity. Anonymous, again. Ronnie, again, with a fairly large donation there, so I will do a special shout out to Ronnie in a little bit. Anonymous, Anonymous, Anonymous. Paula Turner, good luck, ads. Catching live stream when I can. Nick donated, not Nick Hills because it's with a K, it's just someone called Nick. Anonymous, Chris Harrison, such a worthy cause, too many people in need of support definitely. Jay Denning, oh, I feel like I know Jay Denning. Who's Jay Denning? Oh, I'm gonna kick myself, I know that name, and oh, who's that? Jay Denning, I know that name. Maybe it's someone on Facebook, I know, I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, Anonymous. Oh no, it says Anonymous, but then it says flipping fantastic stream ads. Well done, Kelly. So Kelly, Chris Kernock. Oh, I'm gonna get this pronunciation wrong, but I think it's Kernock. Something like that anyway, I'm probably butchering it. Great support for a great cause. George Ross, nice one, ads. Georgia Geel, no comment on that one. Richard Payne, great cause, ads. Thanks for the $12. I think that's Richard Payne's third donation that I've seen as well. Steve Green has donated, well done, ads. Anonymous, keep up good work. Antoinette Daly again with another generous donation. We Love Reseller again donated on this side of things as well, this page. Lex Oliver, well done, ads. So anyway, I'm just going to go back to the comments because I know that's quite a lot of comments to get through on there. So let me have a look in the stream to see what is going on. Right then. So who else have we got in? We've got Treasure Hustlers in, we've got Jennifer in, we've got Buckle in, we've got Antoinette Daly in. Most of the regulars actually that we've got in here. Mother's Moustache, I think that's how you pronounce it. Hitman UK is in. Ads, are the ponies in the post yet? No, that was Andrew who said that, surely. Was it not Andrew who said ponies or something? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Andrew said that. So, yeah. I think that's about everyone in the stream. Treasure Hustler says, love your green screen. Well, actually, I used to use this all the time. It wasn't, it was something I used to do all the time, but I kind of changed over to StreamYard. But I really do enjoy doing the green screen stuff. I think it makes it a bit more, definitely professional, but more, I feel in a way it makes it more interactive, but I suppose it doesn't really, does it? Maybe that's just me thinking that, but if I had a more interactive background, it probably would make it more interactive, but this one is just a random, that's just the thumbnail that I've got up, because to tell you the truth, I couldn't be bothered doing a background in Photoshop specific or personalised to this show, in the time, because it was, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday when I thought, I'll probably put a personalised background up, and I thought, have I got time to do it in Photoshop? And then I didn't, and then, here we are with this background. But anyway, it suits, it'll do. Where are we? Chat. I think that's everyone. I think that's I've kind of shouted out a few more people. I'm listening while cooking. Oh, nice, Tracy. What are you cooking? Are you doing something nice? Hang on, cooking? It's, maybe lunch actually, yeah, I suppose so. I was just thinking, man. Makes kids attracted to it. I know. You know what? I need to blooming look into that so much more. I'm not going to go into it on today's stream because it's not really the the place. But yeah, I need to look into that so much more, because I was meant to do that today and I've not got around to it again. I mean, I've looked into it and everything, but I want to look into it again. I want to look into it and do another deeper dive into it and stuff, because it does scare me a bit, that. Anyway, so I'll go on with the next few comments. So we've got Jim Orm, that's Jim Orm. I'm trying to think whether that's a troll thing, you know, that name, but I don't think it is. But you know when we say Hugh ass or something, I don't know. I don't even know. But you know, one of those weird trick names where you're actually saying something dirty from a name. But I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't know. It just sounded like it for a second. Great cause ads, we'll see you at the car boots. Oh, have you seen me at the car boots before then? Mate, possibly. Peter Ray, great cause ads, well done. Anonymous, gem reseller, great cause ads, and such a good idea doing your 12-hour stream. Good luck. I don't know how many more we've got. Shazad, he gave quite a hefty donation as well. Karen sells clothes, great charity, best of luck. Ashley, thanks for all the chats and good luck with the fundraiser, great causes. Also, I just want to say, I'm seeing a lot of the same names come through on both of these pages. So if you did donate to both pages, that is very kind and I really appreciate that. There's been so many people who I've seen on this page that I did on the last page, so thank you very much if you are one of those people who donated on both. Shelley Hawkins again, well done for organising this ads, keep up the good work. Car Boot Chris and Bargain Bell, thanks for doing the stream ads, great cause. Just Me Kathy, KLC reselling, such a great cause and idea ads, well done. Darren Smart again with another donation. He must have donated about 4 or 5 times. Absolutely incredible. Great cause ads. Good luck for the stream. Look, man, hustling. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the fundraiser stream. Anonymous, Mel back from burnout, well done on all your efforts. To Aussie Thrifters, great cause, thanks for providing an opportunity to give to a great cause. Sue Davison, personally, having recently lost someone to suicide, wow, that's gone down a little bit there, but that's pretty sad. Personally, having recently, I wasn't expecting that when I read it, that's why I was like, oh my god. Personally, having recently lost someone to suicide, I really hope you raise a lot of money for this great cause. Everyone needs a little help sometime. Yeah, and I'd like to echo that as well, because I mean, a lot of us in the 10 o'clock slot talked about our troubles with mental health and things like that, and if you want to kind of go back and watch that segment of the stream, it's about 2 hours in, we all talked about struggles like that. So yeah, everyone, I have to echo that, everyone does require a little help sometimes, really. So that is everyone. The last person is anonymous. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up the sort of the list of comments here and just shout out a few people who did donate quite a bit of money. So I want to do a special shout out to Shazad for donating a fair bit of money. Again, I'm not going to say the amounts, but just take it that these people have donated, you know, a fair whack. So Shazad, thank you very much for donating a good bit of money. I don't know whether I did see your name on the other page as well, but possibly you did. Possibly you duplicated the donations as well and did 2 donations. So thank you very much for your very generous donation. Antoinette as well, she actually donated on both pages in a fair amount, so thank you very much, Antoinette, for your donation, and thank you very much also for your long time support on the channel. It is very much appreciated. I want to go up because I know there's another couple of people on this one. Yeah, Ronnie Lamborn, again, someone who donated over both pages and a very generous amount indeed as well. So thank you very much, Ronnie. I don't really know you that well personally, but I'm pretty sure if it's the right Lonnie I'm thinking about, sorry, did I say Lonnie? The right Ronnie I'm thinking about, you've been on Andrew's stream and stuff, and I have seen you on the stream and stuff. So yeah, it'd be interesting, possibly if you're on one of Andrew's streams or someone else's streams at some point, we could possibly meet up on there. So anyway, yeah, thank you very much for your very generous donation. And we've got David M. I want to say a huge thank you to David M. He donated an incredible amount over both the pages, both the charity pages. It really blew me away because 1 minute we were at one figure and the next minute we had blown that figure out the water and we had gone up sky high basically. So thank you very much to David. It was incredible to check back on the charities and see just within a minute, we had set another target basically at this time, and within a minute or two, it had gone sky high. It had gone incredible. So, yeah, thank you very much to David M, the car boot picker. It was very, very appreciated, that donation. Incredible, and it took us up so much more than where we were, and it made these targets possible as well with just the amount that you donated over both pages. It was incredible. And then I think going up, the only other person on this sort of page who did donate a lot of money was Darren Smart. So he did quite a few donations, as you will have seen from me reading out the comments over both the pages. And again, he's someone who donated quite a bit of money. So thank you very much to Darren as well. Obviously, Darren has been a long time watcher of the channel. He was basically here from day one of this channel. From when I set up the channel, he was here. So we're going back over 4 years now. And I've been on live streams with him over that period. I've chatted to him, obviously, on Facebook and things like that, and got to know him a bit more personally. So I was just overwhelmed when I saw that. I actually saw those donations because he made them fairly late. One of them he made late on the Friday when Andrew was doing that kind of secondary fundraiser thing. Obviously, I had already seen the comments on the Thursday and possibly a Friday morning, but I hadn't seen those ones. But then when I went back on the Saturday morning and saw those donations, I was blown away, and it was incredible. So thank you very much to Darren as well for donating there. So that is all the comments. That is all the you know, people kind of who donated and stuff. Obviously, some people wanted to remain anonymous for, I guess, one reason or another. So we're going to share the total in a minute. I won't keep you in suspense any longer. I know quite a few of you will have obviously already be aware of the total, because I know a few people have said, scattered throughout the week, people have kind of looked in on the total and said it in live streams and things like that. So I'm sure a lot of you will be aware of it. But anyway, so I'm going to go up the chat, because we've got quite a bit of chat coming in. We've got a few more people in here now. So we've got Star City Picker. Hi there. I don't know why, but oh, we've put a load of turkeys because it's Thanksgiving. Cool. Also, I don't know whether you're aware, someone was it Markiplier or one of the big YouTubers said that some of his members or his YouTube followers or whatever in the chats were doing like loads of emoticons, and they were getting their accounts banned and stuff. Now, I don't know whether that situation's been resolved now, but I would be careful. You know, you've done like loads of turkeys there. It should be okay. But YouTube, I think, at the moment are kind of going around and the bots are like flagging them as spamming and stuff. So I don't know, but all I would say from the video I watched is, from the little information I had on that video, just be careful when you're doing like loads of emoticons and stuff at the moment, because it seems that the bots are picking up on it or something and banning people's accounts or doing something with them anyway, from the video I watched. But anyway, yeah, so you put a turkey there because it's Thanksgiving, isn't it? Obviously, we don't have it here in this country, so I mean, I knew it was Thanksgiving before, you know, this morning I thought, oh, it's Thanksgiving today, but obviously we don't do it, so it's not like a huge part of my day or anything. So then, if you are in the US, because I know we've got quite a few US people in the chat right now, what are you doing today? Are you having a nice big roast? Are you having a bit of family time? Are you possibly going out for a walk, or, I don't know, going out to a park somewhere, maybe having a little roast with your family and going off for a walk? Yeah, because it's interesting, because other than, I guess, a roast and having the turkey and having the rest of it, I don't get quite what you do. You know, is it do you give presents to people? I mean, I know Thanksgiving, isn't it for giving it's not Independence, is it? No. Isn't it something? No, it's not something to do with the president. I'm just wondering, for one, I forgot what it actually means, but for two, I'm wondering what the rituals are around it. Is there any rituals other than, let's say, a meal, like a roast or something like that? I wonder if there's actually any rituals around it. But I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Interesting, because it's not really something that is over here, so it interests me a little bit. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you the total now. A lot of you will be aware of the total, so it might not be a shock to anyone, really. So the total raised was £2,024 we raised over the 2 days. Again, a huge thank you to Andrew for obviously getting in about £300 extra in donate, £200 to £300 extra. I think it was more about £300 extra on the Friday night with the drinking with Andrew. I think, as I say, I think it was the Friday night, or it was possibly the Thursday night. It was either the Thursday night or the Friday night, anyway, one of the nights. And yeah, so thank you very much to him for getting it, because we were at 1,700 on the night, at the end of the night, and then obviously possibly that next night, if it was that next night, he bumped it up by about 300 quid, or just over 300 quid actually. So yeah, thank you very much to Andrew. So the final total that we all raised from the 12-hour stream was £2,024, which is, honestly, I was not expecting. I mean, I set the target at 400, and I really wasn't sure. I mean, there was an inkling, there was something in my mind that said we could do more than this 400, definitely. But then there was also something in my mind that was a shadow of doubt, like, yeah, but I just don't know. I don't know whether we could do it. But yeah, it became quickly apparent in the morning that we were going to do over 400. So that was absolutely incredible. So thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who participated in the actual live show itself as a guest. I know I've said so many thank yous, so I'm not going to say any more because I'm just repeating myself. But yeah, I did just want to do this, and then, you know, to wrap it up, to kind of close it off, and to give thanks to people. And funnily enough, it's on Thanksgiving, and I'm giving thanks to. That's weird. I didn't plan that. But it's quite odd, that. Anyway, let's have a look down the chat. So, oh wait, there we go. It's jumped. 1 second. Let me go up again. Right, so if you got any questions in the chat, whack them in, because we've got about another half an hour left. I'm done with the 12-hour stream really stuff. I mean, I don't think there's much else. I mean, I could do a bit of reflecting on it, but for me, really, it went good. The flow of it went good. I'm sure a lot of you will agree how the guest came on, and then we went off, and then the new guest came on. That flow worked quite well. The topics worked okay, although I did think actually. I did find out actually on the next day when I was looking at the topics, I think we missed out one of the topics, but it was obviously, well, I think we did, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think we did. It was UK versus US reselling. I think that was the one we missed out. But the topics went okay, the questions went okay. The idea that I had of doing the £1 million question for everyone, that was an interesting one. I just kind of made that up on the spot. But it was good, you know, it was really, really good, and it was so good to meet the people that I hadn't seen on live streams before, and they actually came on, and it was just nice. It really was. It was just nice, and I have seen in chats, and I have seen, I suppose, a little bit behind the scene, or a couple of people messaging me about it, that people are actually finding others from the stream. So, for example, maybe there was a guest from the UK on at the same time as guests from Australia, and the guest from the UK and the guest from Australia didn't know of each other's channels, and then we checked each other out, and they've said, you know, oh, you know, I actually quite like that person, you know, I want to follow them on YouTube and all the rest of it. So I think that's happened, and that's good because it brings people together as well. So I think that's really all I need to say on it, you know, to be honest, to reflect on it. You know, I mean, maybe next time, I want to say I would do a little bit more structure, but I don't know whether I need it. I think any more structure than I had might actually make it too robotic and make it too formal. I think there was times, obviously, we were doing the quiz and things like that, that it was a bit more informal, and that was good. That kind of balanced it quite nicely. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I think really the only thing I would possibly do is maybe get something in place for myself, how I'm going to actually cope with doing the 12 hours, because that was the main thing. That was the main kind of slight downfall, was the fact of my energy depleting and just things, you know, I was getting low and stuff like that. And I think if I had some way of maybe keeping me going for a bit longer, those last few hours might be a bit more energetic. and a bit more lively still. But on the whole, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with what I organised. I'm really, really pleased so many people could join us. And yeah, it did really make it, and it was so good. The amount of people that came on made it. All the different variety of people that came on from different backgrounds, from different levels of reselling. You know, some people maybe only been reselling 3 or 4 months. Other people have been reselling years. I mean, we had in the chat, I think Drew and Sarah have only been doing it for a few months. Look, Mum, I'm hustling. But then to the other side of me on the chat was Kelly, who's been doing it 25 years. So I mean, that was really nice. And I didn't know Kelly had been doing it for that long. So I learned quite a bit about different people actually in the stream, which was cool. But I didn't know she'd been doing it for that long. So that is incredible, really. So I mean, she's been doing it longer than Nick, which is quite yeah, that's amazing, really. Because I think Nick's been doing it 17, 18 years full-time, possibly a little bit more part-time before that, I'm not sure, but anyway. Oh, of course you're doing the cooking, Tracy. I've just read Jennifer's comment there, something saying about cooking turkey or something, and then I realised, oh yeah, why am I saying what are you cooking, Tracy? Because it's turkey, isn't it? That's what you're cooking, and veg and all the rest of it. Oh, it's incredible. Anyway, yeah. Right then, let me have a look. See if anyone's commented about what Thanksgiving is, because I want to know what this is. Right, okay. So, yeah, we took over the Indians' land, so we ate with them. The event that Americans commonly call the first Thanksgiving was celebrated by the Pilgrims after their first harvest in the New World in October 1621. Ah, so over in Jamestown, so that's what it is. It's like the first kind of saying thanks that the land that they got to was able to produce the kind of the fruits of their labour and produce the food for them, and therefore to continue to this day you're giving thanks that we could actually create something new within this kind of new land that we've found from, obviously, where was it where did we set off from? The boat, what was it, Mayflower, wasn't it? But where did we set off from? Down south somewhere, wasn't it? And then we set off over to, was it the it must have been the east coast of the US. So yeah, I get that's what it is. That's I didn't know that at all or anything. So that's actually quite interesting. The only thing I knew is that it was called Jamestown after the place, the settlement that they actually went to first off. They named it Jamestown after the King of England at the time, which was James I, who I think reigned from 1603 to 1625, if I'm about right, but my history's a bit off. But yeah, and that wasn't that in, no, it was a bit, oh no, it was, that was in the whole witch hunting craze, wasn't it, like early 1600s as well. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so that's really interesting too, because I didn't know that it had an affiliation to that. I didn't know that was kind of a basis for Thanksgiving. So I don't know what I thought it was about, but yeah, so that's really interesting, that is. So yeah. Right then, where are we down here? What did you do? Oh, I'm coming behind a little bit here. Right, I always think of the Addams Family and the Cramp play when people say Thanksgiving. What? Oh, camp play. I thought it said cramp play then. Right, let's go down here. Oh, BCP's in. Hi there, BCP. I don't think I saw you before. Peter Ray's Adventures. Thanks, Ads, for a 12-hour stream. No worries at all, Peter. As I say, it was everyone else who made it, really. It was an absolutely brilliant stream. So then, where are we here? The whole thing was amazing, Ads. You should be very proud of yourself. Thank you very much, Lainey. Yeah, it was a fantastic stream. It really was. I did enjoy it, despite me getting tired during the end, and in a little bit of pain with my back and things like that. I loved it. I did absolutely love it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Question: what did you think of Andrew's drinking stream earlier? I was wondering why he was doing it in the day. I was like, what? I said to him, didn't I? Why are you doing it in the day? What's that about? I get now that it was because of doing, you know, an Australian edition, but still, like, he's drinking it randomly. Like, I think he started at about 11 o'clock as well, but if he wants to drink in the day, fair enough. I think he's off this week, innit? It's his week off, so... But I thought, first off, when I came into the stream, I thought, hang on, shouldn't Andrew be doing some work at this time or something? But I thought, oh no, I remember he said last week, didn't he, that he's off this week. So then, where are we in the old chat? We're right down at the bottom. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. We've got 58 people watching, but the chat seems to be going a bit slower tonight. I don't know. Pull your finger out and get some questions in there, will you? Come on, we're better than this. We're a bit slow tonight. I've seen it. I mean, I can actually get to the end of the chat. Now, I shouldn't be able to get to the end of the chat. We know the rules. I should be right at the top of the chat with my little scrolly thing and never be able to get to the bottom by the end of the stream. That's how it works every week. That's how it should work this week. 58 people in here. So, come on, let's get some questions in there. And then, obviously, I won't be able to answer them all, and then people will be disappointed that I've not answered the question. But still, don't worry about that. Don't think about the future. Just pop a question in. Anyway, I know ads can still see my retracts. I don't know what I can still see my retracts. I don't know quite what that means, but anyway. I don't know what a retracts is. I can still see my retracts. When you retract something, you take it away, don't you? But I don't know what it means in that context of that sentence. Draw or be drawn back or back in, yeah. I knew what I meant, but I was just like, I don't get what it means in that Can you elaborate on that sentence? I don't know. Anyway, I got my milk here, one sec. Ripe from the breasts of Mother Nature. That's why we like milk. Right then. Let's have a look in here. Ooh, there's a little Illuminati eye symbol there, which is cool. I'm thankful every day. What, for the whole Jamestown thing? And wasn't there something about Jamestown as well, where the Indians gave... Oh, no, was this might have been... Oh, no, I might be getting mixed up. This might have been the Spanish conquistadors and the Incas. Right, it might have been the Spanish conquistadors and the Incas. In fact, it probably was... When the Spanish conquistadors wanted to take over the Incas, they gave them blankets with some sort of disease on them or something on them anyway, and then they all basically fell dead. I think it was the Incas, it wasn't the Jamestown thing. But there was something that the Native Americans did to the people of Jamestown to try and drive them away. I'm sure maybe they had like a little battle or a little war or something. I feel like there was something that the Native Americans did. I'm not sure anyway, but I know that actually there was plagues in Jamestown, wasn't there? There was definitely some sort of plagues there. But I think that there was also something with the Native Americans. I don't think, if there were plagues there, if my thinking is right, it didn't affect the Native Americans, I don't think. And I think the Native Americans, as I say, they were having battles with them or something. But anyway, my history's a bit rough because I've not studied it in years, so I apologise if it's, not factually right. I used to love history, but I'm a bit rusty in it now, but that's a shame. It's how life goes, isn't it? You forget things, and then new things take the spaces of the old stuff, and then new stuff takes the spaces of that old stuff years to come, and then when you get really old, you don't remember anything. But such is life, isn't it? Such is life. Right then. We sound proud in the chat, Sam. Well done, ads. Thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure. Yeah, it was a pleasure to have you on as well. And then there was the Chinese warships 2,000 years ahead of their time. Ooh, what's this about in the chat? Chinese warships. Oh, this is right up my street. Right then. Right, have we got any questions? Come on. Come on, what's all this stuff? We've not even got any questions in here. Right, oh, here we go. Tracy says, do you have any... can't even speak. Do you have any Christmas traditions? I've talked about this many a time, so for the people who are watching who have chatted about it before, probably chatted about it on live stream about 3 times over the last couple of years. But basically, we go round so we have 2 grandparents, 2 sets of grandparents, and me and my mum and dad, right, and then my auntie as well, who joins us at one of the grandparents, her mum and dad's, my mum's side of the family. So on a Christmas day, we'll go to one of the grandparents. We'll have a roast, and then we'll have, an afternoon of games and things like that. Maybe watch a bit of TV. We'll have, snacks and stuff after the roast. In the morning, what we'll do around here is me and my mum and dad will open presents around here, and then I'll go round my friend's house and I will open. Well, I won't open their presents I won't open their presents for them, but I'll open their presents with them, kind of thing. So I'll be there, sat there, seeing what they got and everything. Then I'd say about 12 o'clock we'll go round to the first grandparents, do the first roast, do the afternoon of games and nuts and snacks and drinks and all the rest of it. It's just eating all day, basically. And then in the evening we go around my other grandparents, do more. We do presents around there. Basically, it's presents all day for me, because I get presents from my mum and dad in the morning, and I get to see what my friends have got in the morning. Then in the afternoon I get presents off my grandparents and then my auntie as well, who comes along for that one, and we do the food and everything. Then in the evening I get presents off my other grandparents, and we do a buffet there, and we do a little bit of TV, a bit of games, a bit of food, a bit of chatting, things like that. And it's always, I am so thankful for Christmases when I was younger, because I'm an only child, so I just get spoiled. I mean, my mum and dad have always been good with it. They always have like a limit that, we're not spending like loads on you. But between the three, between the entire family, my parents, my grandparents, and my other grandparents, I did get fairly spoiled as a kid, and I loved, and not only, I don't just mean spoiled with presents, because not every year I'd get like loads of presents, but it would be more spoiled with attention. I would get loads of attention, and so I'm really thankful when I look back on those Christmases, because I think, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved being with the family. I loved eating good food. I loved having the presents. It was really, really nice. And as I say, I'm thankful for the fact that I could have that, because I know not all children can get that. Unfortunately, with a lot of circumstances, children may not have the best upbringing, and it is kind of sad. And so I'm lucky that I did have a very solid upbringing in that way, at least. And and it was just brilliant. So that's kind of my tradition. And then on Boxing Day, what we do is we do the whole thing, but in reverse. So, well, not the whole thing, because the morning section's actually not the same. But what we do is, the grandparents who hosted in the evening of Christmas Day will do them in the afternoon, and then vice versa. So, we get 2 roasts and 2 buffets between Christmas Day and Boxing Day. And then on New Year's Day, we go around my auntie's and do a load of food there and bits and bobs like that. And then on New Year's Eve, we normally have a games night. On Christmas Eve, we normally have a games night. And then, what else? Possibly a couple of other things, over the festive period. So we do really go quite all out with it, really, so it's quite good. So yeah, that's basically my kind of traditions, I suppose. Although it's, what's always got me, the fact that, a few people in my family are religious, but they're not devoutly religious or anything like that. And I myself have been christened and everything, but I wouldn't consider myself a Christian. And the question I've always asked, obviously because, from a philosophical viewpoint, it's interesting to me. Why do we, and not only us as a family, but why do other families celebrate Christmas? If you are not a Christian, you shouldn't be celebrating, in my personal opinion, you shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. But it has become so commercialised that everybody celebrates it, regardless of religion now. It's like my friend's family. Now, my friend's family are not religious, not one bit. In my family, there's a little bit of religion there, but my friend's family, there's none whatsoever. Yet they still celebrate Christmas with the tree and the gifts and all the rest of it. But it's like, why? I'm not trying to be horrible or anything with it. I'm really genuinely, sincerely wondering, why do they do it? Like, why do you just not do it? Like, if you're not religious, surely you would not celebrate that tradition, right? I just don't get it. But I suppose it's just become so commercialised now within our society that if you don't do it, it's like really, really odd. It's not become it's not a Christian thing anymore. It's dispersed into society. It's almost as if Christianity, in that way of the traditions, in the traditional kind of holidays, has morphed itself into kind of a new amalgamation, a new manifestation within society. It's weird. It's very weird. But the problem is when a religion does that, is it takes away the actual meaning behind religion, and it's only so many people who are actually Christian. I mean, yeah, okay, there's a large, there's a large percentage of people, but there's only so many people who actually celebrate Christmas and respect the actual Christian element of it. And for me, that's what it should be. You should be respecting the Christian element of it. You should be respecting the religious side of it. Now, I am the world's worst hypocrite because for how many years I've not done that either, especially when as a child I wasn't respecting the Christian tradition or the Christianity of it. But I do think there should be at least a general theological knowledge or awareness behind why we are doing this. And if you aren't religious, maybe you do still choose to celebrate it, but at least have that awareness there, surely. You know, surely have that awareness there and be, thankful for what it's bringing, why this tradition is formulated and why you can actually celebrate it. So, but, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really incredibly clued up on Christianity. It's not the religion that I've researched into the most, so I can't really comment too much on it at this moment in time, but it's something that I am interested in. I am quite interested in Christianity, and moving forward I do want to research it in a little bit more depth and get a little bit more understanding for it for myself, and possibly then, as I say, I can even appreciate in a new dimension these traditions. But anyway, we're going off on a philosophical rant here, so I'll go down the chat. Question: have you any new plans for YouTube coming up? I've got quite a lot of videos. I've actually got about 14 videos to edit, and I've got 3 or 4 more videos. I've got 3 videos scheduled, and then I've got 1 video to upload. So have I got? Oh no, I might not have 1 video to. Or do I? No, I don't have 1 video to upload. I have 3 videos scheduled, and then I have 14 to edit. So other than the videos that I've not got any major plans. I've not got any major thing coming up. I know a few people wanted me to do a song this year, but it's just not going to be viable. I've just not got the time to do a song this year. So yeah, I'm not going to do a song this year or anything like that, or a comedy short or anything. But yeah, I've got plenty of videos coming. They're random videos. There's a few different videos. They're not all hauls and sales updates. They're kind of random videos. I've been using my GoPro, and I've been using my GoPro in the car to do like little car vlogs and stuff. So I don't know whether people are gonna like those or not. But I've done about 6 of those or something. So some of those are gonna come out, and then maybe the other 8 videos or whatever it is. Some of them are haul videos. A couple of them are sales updates. And what else have I got? Oh, I've got a couple of vlogs and stuff in there. And as I say, I've got another 3 videos to come out. I've got 2 haul videos to come out that are scheduled. And I've got a car vlog to come out that's scheduled. So, yeah, I've got plenty of videos coming out and stuff. But I've not got major ideas or anything. Did Epstein kill himself? I do not know what this is in relation to. I've heard that name before, and funnily enough, you should ask that because I saw something on Google the other day that came up or something. I don't know. But I don't know. Oh right, it's something that's in the news at the moment, is it? I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that because I don't have enough knowledge on it or anything. I'm not getting involved with that either way. But yeah. So what was that there? Where was that question? Where was that question there? Hang on. Oh, there we go. That's it. I lost my point in the chat. Right then, where are we here? Europeans gave the flu. Possibly, I don't know. Europeans gave the flu. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was with the whole, the whole Jamestown stuff or Spanish conquistadors or anything. Hi, Lainey. How are you? Doesn't look like there's any more. Oh wait, the chat's just jumped. 1 second. Now I've got to go right back up the chat. Yeah, Christmas. Exactly, Nick. Christmas is a celebration of consumerism. The church takes a back seat these days. Definitely consumerism. there's probably the argument to be made for materialism as well, but I don't know, because materialism is such a big field, and materialism isn't necessarily what people think it is. Materialism isn't necessarily a bad thing. So many people say it's bad to be a materialist, but it's not necessarily bad to be a materialist. It's only bad to be a materialist if you haven't got awareness of, let's say, the opposition to materialism, or something like spirituality. If you were to use spirituality and have knowledge on spirituality, and then use that in conjunction and merge it in with the materialism or the materialistic culture, it's actually not a bad thing at all. But a lot of people take material. Oh, you're a materialist. It's as if it's a bad thing, but it's really not a bad thing. To enjoy things that are material isn't a bad thing. I would never say that. I enjoy wearing nice clothes. I wouldn't say I wear the best clothes or anything, but I enjoy wearing nice clothes. I enjoy drinking. I enjoy not drinking alcoholic because I don't drink, but I mean, I enjoy just drinking milk and drinking bit. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad thing to enjoy those things, or to enjoy utilizing a nice computer or anything like that. Where the flaw comes in is ignorance, basically, in which people really get attached to these items, and it basically rules their life. They have to have everything new. They have to have... They live in this materialistic bubble in which is kind of fueled by their overinflated social persona, in having to appear to people in a certain way as I am the best because I have everything. Just like someone always has to have the the latest reg number on their car. So whatever it would be now, 69, wouldn't it? It would be the latest reg number. So everyone would have to have the latest reg. And you see these people going around in cars and stuff where they always have the latest reg number, or they're only ever one behind, and it's almost terrible to them. They're going to die if they don't have it. Now that's too much of an attachment on material possession. What would be a good way to be a materialist is to enjoy the material, embrace the material, really love the material, and utilize it in a very loving and pleasant way, but to not be incredibly attached to it, to not have this incredible sense of self in which you're like constantly needing all these things, and if you don't have the best shirt or the best car or the best this, you're gonna die. That's absolutely ridiculous. But materialism in its base form, I feel, when we don't taint it with an over-exaggeration of what we want, or an overinflated social persona of we need to have everything because of it, what are other people going to think of us, when we don't do that and we just look at it from its base nature, materialism is actually, or could be considered, quite a natural and quite a good thing, really. But certainly getting on the line of consumerism, definitely consumerism. Possibly not as much materialism. There is definitely an element there of materialism, but yeah, consumerism more in particular, because of the amount of things that people buy, the amount of things that people are purchasing, the amount of stuff on the market, all that sort of stuff. And it's the same as Easter as well, with how much volume of stuff is out there for people to buy. And I mean, consumerism and materialism are very, very closely linked, really. But yeah, so that's an interesting point there, Nick. But it would be nice if we got a little bit more of that spiritual aspect back. Maybe not even religious aspect of Christmas back, but more of the spiritual, or possibly even, I suppose not an element of Christian mysticism, but sort of like just an element of that kind of spiritual Christianity in there. A little bit of a spiritual feel in there. I mean, it's almost Christian mysticism, but it's not what I mean, because Christian mysticism would take it one step further in how much you would kind of go into it and everything. But yeah, like sort of Christian spirituality there, just a general feeling of connection there with that spiritual or that religious attitude towards around what Christmas means, other than just what is there, but I'm always going to come at it from that viewpoint, because I enjoy religion, I enjoy studying religion, so it's my kind of viewpoint that people should at least have some level of, as I say, theological understanding or theological awareness behind things. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. I'll focus on the chat now. Right, okay, question. Did you get your polo neck sweater in the end? Think it was the jeans that come. No, that's probably going to come tomorrow. It's a shame because I've got my little jumper on here, and I've got black pants on, and I'm getting a turtleneck, so it comes up to here, and I'm gonna wear my leather jacket, because that's gonna be my new Bads outfit. I know some of you will be aware who Bads Robinson is, but that's gonna be my new Bads outfit, so I'm gonna get my shades on, I'm gonna get my turtleneck, a black sweater, and I'm gonna get that leather jacket fit, and that leather jacket, the lapels will fit lovely nicely around that turtleneck, and it'll look, oh god, that'll look so evil. That'll look so like, oh my god, kind of thing. So yeah, that's gonna be a nice little Bads outfit there. So I wanted to get that, but I was christened but see myself as a devout atheist. I just see Christmas as the chance to be with family and friends. And that is a very good point, Stu. It is, if anything more, it is something to be with family and friends, and it is a nice experience to do that. You know, it is a nice experience to be with family and friends, but there is almost a religious element to being with family and friends, to being around I mean, I could get into, because really I very much enjoy, and this is more of a heresy I suppose, but I very much enjoy Christian pantheism. And not a very good thing to say, let's say, if I was in a lot of Christian company. But yeah, I very much like Christian pantheism. So when we're talking about, let's say, being around the table with family and friends, being around a meal, when we're talking about that, we can talk about that as even just that basic act, being religious within that kind of way. If we're talking about, let's say, it from a Hindu point of view or a Buddhist point of view, we could even say that sole act of just being with family and friends and eating the turkey and everything, eating the food, again, is a religious act in itself. So therefore, you know, and that's just terming it a religious act just as a kind of conceptual view of it, really. It doesn't need to be termed a religious act. It can simply be termed, it could also be termed an atheist act. It could be termed a non-religious act, essentially, eating a meal or being with family and friends. But there's certain parts of, or elements of different religions that could perceive it in such a way as that even it would be a religious act just to do that. So there is even without being theologically aware or theologically advanced, there is an element of being religious without being religious, essentially, in that setting. And it's talked about incredibly in you know, various different philosophical texts and religious texts, more so Indian and Chinese philosophical texts and things like that, that food is to be respected. And again, I've done a great video on my philosophy channel actually about the divinity of food and why we should respect food and why it's very it should be held in high regard and all that. And even more scientifically, without getting into religion, with ecology, food should be respected, because obviously within ecology, the entire environment, the organisms and environments are all interrelated and interdependent, and therefore the food is a part of our interrelation with the environment. So therefore it should be respected from a scientific viewpoint as well. So yeah, you know, even if you're an atheist, you know, you can still definitely, I suppose, celebrate Christmas. But I always like, as I say, for me personally, it's just my personal viewpoint that it would be nice for most people to have an understanding or an idea of, you know, what it means, you know, the actual religion, the story behind it, essentially. Just, if nothing else, just to somewhat appreciate where it comes from as an origin story, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, let's go down the old chat again. Congratulations on the fundraiser ads, amazing result. Thank you very much, Nick. I saw that comment a second ago actually, but I saw the start of it, but the chat jumped actually, and then I couldn't see it anymore. Right then, I'm not religious at all, but was christened. Christmas has always been family time and magic. You know what? I'm getting a real sense of deja vu with this stream. I don't know why, but I feel like we've had this conversation before. Maybe I'm just thinking about maybe another stream that I was talking about religion on, and I'm thinking that I'm seeing the same comments or something, but I'm really getting deja vu. But no, it is, and that's what it's. The thing is, for me, as I've got older, from 16 to probably 16 and up. Well, not, yeah, like 16 to 23, the age I'm at now, but maybe like 16 and up, 17 and up, something like that. I've really started to only appreciate the family side. I'm not as bothered as the gifts. Obviously, it's nice to get gifts. I'm not going to complain about getting gifts, but you know, I've really appreciated the family time, and also just having good food and stuff like that's nice. But yeah, I have always appreciated, from then at least, the family side a lot more. So I can see where a lot of people are coming from when they say about how it's lovely to have that family time and that, you know, seeing friends and stuff. Because it's something I really appreciate. So yeah, and I think it's the main thing for everyone really, family and friends really, as you get older as well. Right, let me go up. I'm so, Ads is correct here. Some people like to keep up with the Joneses. Some people like to appear better than the Joneses. Personally, I couldn't care less what the Joneses do. There we go. You know, you see, you know you're in your right crowd when you've got a comment like that and you can solely agree with it. Stu just comes in there with a belter of a comment. Yeah, I just couldn't care less what we do either. I've never been one for that though, because I have my own style, so it's not... You can't really commit. If you have your own style, let's say as far as I have my own style, you can't compare. It's just not possible. But the only way I'm comparing myself is to someone else who is maybe out there like me. But then they're not going to keep up with the Joneses either. So then it would just be me keeping up with them. But then, you know, they wouldn't be bothered about materialism anyway. So I wouldn't really be keeping up with them on a material level, if you see what I mean. So... It's yeah, so I don't really care, because there's just not really much point me care. I don't really care about having the greatest expensive things in the world. There's certain brands of clothing I like to wear. There's certain brands of, I don't know, electronics and stuff that I like and that might be considered, I don't know, middle of the road or whatever it may be, or possibly a little bit higher. But you know, that's all I do. I don't necessarily say, oh, I've got to have this, I've got to have the other, or anything like that. And yeah, so it's interesting. That comment is actually, Stu, it's quite a good comment, Matt. Let me have a look. YouTube love help. Laney says, question: if you do resolutions at the end of each year, what are yours for 2020? Well, I suppose I don't know whether I should say this, actually. I don't think I should say this, so let me just say there's the potential for some a fairly big announcement that I might make on the channel in the next few months if I go ahead with doing it. And so that announcement that I'm talking about, that I'm alluding to, that I'm being mysterious about, that I'm being enigmatic around, that announcement would be the resolution to achieve that thing that I'm talking about. So I won't say what it is. I was tempted to say what it is there, but I want to keep it a secret for a little bit. I want it to be finalised. I want it to be definitely happening before I go ahead. And also I want to make a separate video for it. But let's just say, look out for a video in the next couple of months. In the next... maybe January, February next year. Look out for a video entitled something like Life Update, and then you'll be able to hear a little bit about this announcement. But that would be, that announcement specifically would be the resolution. I don't have resolutions about losing weight or anything. I don't have resolutions about gaining weight or anything like that. I don't have resolutions about eating better. I don't have resolutions about going to the gym more. I never do that stuff, because I've always, for a very long time, always considered myself on a healthy eating regime that's just constant. I wouldn't call it a diet, but just I always keep myself in moderation and keep things fairly at level. And you know, I have high metabolism anyway and stuff, and I'm young, of course, so I don't really need to necessarily lose weight or anything like that. I mean, for the odd time, maybe when I was a bit younger, I don't know, maybe 16, 17, 18, something like that, I might have said, oh, I want to go to the gym and pump some iron and get a little bit more muscle or something, but at this point, I just take the years how we come and see what happens. And obviously, I do other goals, I do business goals and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily do New Year's resolutions specifically. I think also there's the kind of worry that if you put a New Year's resolution on yourself that is maybe a little bit far-fetched or maybe is, you know, just maybe too much for you, it can actually just stop you from doing anything, and then you get to the end of January having tried and having attempted at this resolution, and then you just quit because it's maybe a little bit too much for you. So if any, you know, if I were asked to give advice, which I'm not, I know I'm not, but you know what I'm like, I'll give advice anyway. But if I were asked to give advice, I would say if you're gonna do a New Year's resolution, keep it manageable. Don't go overboard. That's what I'd say. Because you do see it, don't you? A lot of people where they do New Year's resolutions and we say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do the other. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to get, I don't know, put on X amount of weight because I want to, you know, put on X amount of muscle, or I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lose a load of weight. But we might set an actual target for a specific target in a specific time scale, and it just doesn't work. And we don't get to it and we don't reach the goal and stuff like that. Now, it's not to say you shouldn't make goals, but maybe make them only to the level that you feel comfortable making them at. If you feel a little bit like, you know, you feel quite not just a little bit, but if you feel quite a heavy amount of doubt in your mind, or maybe not even just doubt, but a heavy amount of doubt and fear, that might be an indication that maybe you're overwhelming yourself just a little touch, and maybe you just need to bring that goal a little bit down, and then once you've reached that goal, you can set a new goal that's higher, and you can go for that one. But just manageable steps, you know, maybe instead of doing one huge goal, you do 4 little goals, and you don't necessarily tell yourself, I'm going to do 4 little goals, but you say, right, I'm going to do this little goal first, I'm going to write this one down, and then in 2 months, if I've attained this goal, then I'll think about doing my second one and work up there. And then after the 4 goals or the 6 goals or the 8 goals or however many little goals it takes you, you then get to your main goal, and that's how you can do it. You know, it's only the same with me with a lot of things I do. So I did, when I was looking into editing and wanting to get better at editing, I had little goals like, oh, I want to learn how to do this editing technique, and I want to learn how to do this one and this one and this one. And I think, right, well, I'll go for this one first, I'll do that one, I'll get that done. And then I think, right, I've got that one done, it didn't take me that long, I'm pretty happy. Right, I'm going to go to this next one now, get that one done. Oh, great, yeah, that didn't take me too long. Right, that's good, I'm fairly proficient at that, I'm happy with that. Right, I'm going to go to this one. And that's how I do it with editing, and that works for me. Now, it doesn't work like that perfectly for every setting. There's some settings that different goal setting formulas will work better for. But for me, for, you know, a good range of things, that sort of setting, breaking it down a little bit more, does work kind of the best, really, in my experience, essentially. So, anyway, let me have a look down the chat. I'm going to go, oh god, yeah, we've been on over an hour. Well, what we'll do is we will wrap this up in a little, in a minute. I'm just going to go down the chat a bit more. As always, you know, I can't get through all this chat. It's crazy, it really is. Makes you wonder what else NASA lie about. Oh, why? Has NASA been lying about something? Don't tell me it's some sort of moon landing. You know, that, not moon landing, that moon base thing that they're meant to be coming out with. They're not lying about that or something. Is it a moon base they're coming out with in, well, it's not 2020, is it? That's too soon. 2030, is it? I don't know, something like that. Maybe it's not that. I don't know, because I don't keep up with it much. Although space exploration has always been a topic that's fascinated me. I think it's very, very interesting. I do want to do a bit more research on it, but the problem is you don't get the time, do you? I've got so many different topics that I want to do research on, and I've just not got the time. It's a shame, really, because you don't have the time of the day to do this sort of stuff. Ads. We love reseller ads. As you are a vegetarian, what do you have in place of turkey at Christmas? I don't know what I had last year. I had some sort of veggie patty thing. Not one of the veggie patties that are the meat-free ones. I do have them quite a lot actually in just regular kind of weekly meals and stuff. But it was one of the ones with the breadcrumbs around and it had like the veg inside and stuff. I think I had one of those if I remember rightly. You can also get, I've had in the past actually when we've gone out for roasts, I've had things encrusted in pastry, and I've had I had some sort of cauliflower cheese tart or something once as my main with a roast when we were out. Not too long ago, only a few months ago. But generally, I'm not bothered. I don't, you know, I like the veg anyway. I've always loved the veg. And so long as we have like roast potatoes and mash and everything, then I'm happy. And if I just have like something little as my veggie main, I'm more than satisfied really with that. And I'm used to it now as well. You know, I'm not really too bothered about having the meat. I mean, it is something I've considered more and more. Actually, I think I said it on a stream not too long ago. I've considered more and more these days of actually going back to eating meat, and then I thought, should I, shouldn't I? But the same always brings me back to being or sticking with vegetarianism. Is that right, vegetarianism? I think that's right, isn't it? I don't think I've ever said that word, so it just sounded weird. But there's a saying from one of my favourite philosophers who I bang on about all the time over on my philosophy channel and sometimes on this channel as well, Alan Watts, who says, he basically got asked by someone, why are you vegetarian? And he said, because cows scream louder than carrots. And I just, that really, really resonated with me. And so I kind of... I feel I get torn in my mind. I think, should I go back, shouldn't I? And that sticks me to being vegetarian essentially. And I think about the animal cruelty and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I don't really think I should go back. But there are times where I do think, I could go back. And same, I did say on the stream the other week that I was very naughty because I did have a tiny bit of bacon, which is, so I can't even really call myself completely vegetarian. But yeah, I did have a tiny bit of bacon the other week and kind of broke my vegetarianism anyway. But the thing is also, what you've got to consider is so many people are vegetarian. So many people eat meat, and therefore cows and sheep, well not sheep, but cows and, well yeah, I suppose sheep as well, but cows, sheep, chickens and this and that and all that, they are getting killed every day. Now it's whether you believe that one person being vegetarian or one person eating meat, that one decision counts incredibly. But to me, it's like, well, maybe it doesn't necessarily count incredibly in the grand scheme of things. So, so I do think like that, and I think, well, maybe I should go back like that. But it's something I debate, and there probably will be one time in my life in the future, if I'm very honest, that I do go back to eating meat. Maybe it might only be for a period, maybe it might be for, a good considerable time in my life, but I do think there will be a period in which that will probably come around again, and if that's so, then that's what happens, isn't it, really? But at the moment, I'm going to stick with being vegetarian because I quite like it. I enjoy being vegetarian. I find that it's not as heavy on you when when you're eating the meals and stuff like that. I find, unless I'm having something very bloating like carbs or big bowl of pasta or something like that, or I have a lot of mash because I am obsessive over mashed potato. I don't know whether people know, but I have a lot. I do have a lot. The most amount of mash I ever had in one sitting with veg and a main as well. So I had all this mash and veg and a main. I think it was 3 potatoes or 4. I don't know whether it was 3 or 4, but it was definitely 3 potatoes, like fairly chunky potatoes worth of mash, and veg and the main. I just go crazy on mash. I love it. And then you dump a load of butter in there and you dump a load of milk in there and mash it all up and it gets so creamy and lovely and smooth. And I'm just like, yeah, I love this. So yeah, I do like that. But unless it's something heavy like that, like I've ate too much mash or too much pasta, what I found with being vegetarian is it is lighter. It's a lighter way to live. You feel lighter. You don't feel as bloated all the time. Well, it wasn't that I was necessarily bloated when I was eating meat anyway, but I don't feel that as much. You know, I don't feel like it's been quite heavy on me. I only very occasionally get a meal where I think, oh, that's, you know, made me quite bloated and full. You know, obviously a little bit what that comes into that is just your kind of awareness of how much you're eating. You might have just ate too much naturally, but with that kind of taken aside, if I'm eating a fair portion but that's not too much, with being vegetarian, it seems to be a fair, you know, fairly lighter and quite nice in that way. So anyway, oh wait, oh yeah, I've already read that one. One sec, let me go up. Oh, there we go. Where are we? Try Plant Chef sausages from Tesco. You know what I've been trying? I've not tried those. I think I have seen them on the shelf at some point. But I've been trying, and I've been very much enjoying the meat-free Farmco stuff. The sausages, the way they've got a wrapping on them that actually doesn't taste like, but acts like the pig's intestine. So it actually kind of has that feel to it, that crisp. When you're obviously putting it under a grill or frying it, it has that little crispiness to it. And I've found with a lot of vegetarian sausages, that crispiness on the outside is lacking. There's a lot of them that you get, that you put under the grill, that, yeah, some of them, maybe the Quorn ones are a little bit more crispy like that. But a lot of them, unless you're cooking them for quite a while, you have to cook them for quite a while to get to this. They seem to not be that crispy. They seem to be a bit more flimsy and stuff, and a bit softer. Now, it just depends what you like. I don't really mind either, to be honest. But I was having those for quite a while. Those ones were a bit softer when I was cooking them, and I wanted to have, like, you know, a slightly crispier one. So this meat-free Farmco is very nice. And what I did the other night, I had the meat-free Farmco mince. And I did a shepherd's pie with the meat-free mince. And obviously it was too much for me. You know, you get a 400 gram pack of mince. So what I did was I split down the pack and I had 200 grams of the mince, which is still quite a lot. As you know, in my shepherd's pie, and I always have, whenever shepherd's pie, I'm a greedy bugger, I am. Talk about food. Anyway, I had a full shepherd's pie to myself, you know, a full bowl. You should have seen it, I tell you. I had a full bowl to myself, covered with mash. You know, I love mash. And then I had inside it, I didn't have peas. I actually had broccoli and carrots. I need to put peas in there next time. And I had the vegetarian gravy with it as well. I did that, and that was very nice. I really liked that mince. If you cook that well, you've got to be careful when you're doing it. Well, I had to be careful, because what I was doing was I was creating some burgers for the following night with the remainder of the mince, you know, because I'd split the pack in half. So while the mince was doing on the hob, I was creating these burgers, but you got to be careful that you don't have the, you know, the mince sort of simmering for too long, because it gets a bit burnt and stuff like that, a bit charred. So anyway, I was doing these burgers, and the mince was just getting a bit, you know, to that stage, and I thought, oh god, yeah, I better turn that down. So I just managed to catch it in the nick of time, really. And then when I was eating it, this shepherd's pie, it was very, very nice. So I had half of that I had half the pack for the shepherd's pie, and then I did half the pack for the burgers, and then I did the burgers last night. Well, it was basically, it turned into one big burger rather than, you know, two burgers or anything. But I could have done, I did actually plan to do, or I did actually shape out two burgers, but I ended up, when I was frying them up, I put them on the bun just as they were. I didn't do two burgers on two buns. So yeah, I did that, and I think this is about, it is quite expensive, this meat-free co. I think the sausages might be about £2 for 6 of them. Now, you might think, oh wow, that's quite a lot, you know, if you don't eat meat-free, you know, if you're not vegetarian. But if you eat meat-free products, you will know that, you know, unless you're buying like real own brand ones from Aldi or Tesco or Sainsbury's or wherever, you're paying about £2 for something like that, just for the nature of what they are. Maybe if more people go vegan or vegetarian, they'll start to come down in the prices, but it's still a little bit of I wouldn't say a niche market anymore, but it's kind of a slightly lower market still. So therefore, there's still kind of that price involved, that cost involved. But the mince is a little bit more expensive. It's about £3 for the pack. But as I say, I split it over 2 meals, so that wasn't too bad. And I could probably get 3 meals out of it actually if I. Because, yeah, to be honest, I probably could. Because that shepherd pie, to be honest, I did eat a little bit too much. So I probably got a little bit bloated after that. So I could probably split it and do 3 meals, really, out of it. So, it's not too bad when you're getting 3 meals out of it, really. But I very much enjoyed that. So that's the meat-free Farm Co. And the other one I've enjoyed is, what's it called? That's it, Fries. I had to think then. Fries. I think it's just called Fries, the brand. Now again, it's a little bit more of an artisanal brand. It's a little bit more expensive. I think maybe they do like smoked hot dogs and things like that. And I think you maybe get, is it 8? It's 6 or 8 anyway in the pack. And again, they're probably coming in at a couple of quid. But, it is kind of meat-free stuff. So again, it's a bit more expensive. And there's some others as well. There's some southern fried chicken things that are like chicken tenders or something they're called, and they're quite nice. But again, these things you can get 2 meals out of. You can potentially get 3 meals. Well, actually, if you're on your own, you can get 3 meals out of the sausages and everything easy. And then obviously the chicken strip. I get 2 meals out of this chicken because there's about 8 in the. No, is it 10 in the pack? Maybe it's about 8 to 10 in the pack, but we're only little tiddly things, and I eat 4 or 5 of them in a sitting easy, with something else, with some veg and stuff. But no, so they're good, and they're great brands to look out for. You do, maybe they are the higher end, you do have to pay a little bit more, but they are bloody worth it. They are nice, and if you cook them well, and cooking really is an art of presence, essentially, of how pleasant you are with the activity. That's what I've found. I've been doing my own cooking now for 6 years, 7 years or something. About 16, 17 I started taking on more cooking duties, and now I do all my cooking. But it really is, what I've found is the more I actually stay attentive with the food, because sometimes what you do, something distracts you and you're off in the other room, and that's that, innit? And you think, oh god, something's burning, or something's slightly I can get a bit of a whiff of something here, and suddenly something's cooking a little bit too fast. But I've found more over the past few months, especially with my foray into religions, especially such as like Taoism and Zen and things like that, they've given me a kind of understanding of presence within the activity of cooking, and just literally being solely aware of what I'm doing at the blooming hob, and not my attention's not drifting at something else. And it really came to the forefront about a week ago, a few days ago, where I made some lovely. It was only a very, very simple dish. It wasn't anything incredible at all. It wasn't anything out there or anything. It was simply sausages, peas, and chips. That's all it was. It wasn't rocket science or anything, right? But what I said to myself, right, last time I did the sausages, we got a little bit burnt, and I knew why it was. It was because I was doing something else at the time, and I thought, right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at this. All the time I'm going to be on them sausages, and I use some little tongs to swirl them around, because I found they're the best utensil to use really for flipping the sausages around. I don't use a spatula for sausages, because I find that this utensil does it a lot more easily. There's a lot more control there. There's a lot more specifics when you're actually picking it up and then turn it around. You can really be specific with where you're planting the sausage on the pan. So, or if you're doing them under the grill, you can do that with the tool as well and be specific in that way. But I thought, right, I'm going to concentrate my attention on it. And you know what? That meal came out about 3 times better than the previous. So the previous week I had done the same meal. And it didn't come out as good because my attention had drifted. But that meal, it was one of the best meals I've had, for quite a while, I thought. But it's such a simple meal. How have I done this? How have I made it into something that's potentially very, very simple, but into something that I've really enjoyed? And I thought, it's because I'm focusing on what I'm doing. I didn't let those sausages get burnt at all. They they were perfectly cooked, absolutely. They were perfectly brown. You know that perfect brown that you get on a sausage? I mean, people, it's subjective because people like sausages in different ways, but it was just that lovely brownness, lovely caramelized brown almost. And, it was absolutely beautiful. So, the simple things can still be really, really good, can really shine in cooking if you just have that presence of mind. It doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't even have to be things that necessarily. I mean, I cook from scratch with different things, but I don't cook from scratch with everything. And so obviously it doesn't have to be necessarily something you've cooked from scratch or anything. It can still be something that is very, very basic and that can just essentially flower for you because of that presence of mind within the cooking. Sorry, we've got a super chat in, so that just popped up. So we've got Double Karma £5. Thank you very much. Is there no message with that, Double Karma? Have you not? Oh, you've not left a message. Anyway, thank you very much for the super chat, Double Karma. It's very much appreciated. If you want to leave a message, pop a message in the chat now, because I know some people like to leave messages with the super chats. But oh wait, what's that? Is that on my screen here? Oh yeah, I forgot. I've got a super chat screen thing. I just missed that actually. But yeah, I've got a super chat screen thing up here. I keep forgetting that that's actually on this thing. So yeah, anyway, that's interesting. So yeah, I need to remember that that's on there. That was so loud. Anyway, so yeah, so it is. I think that's what it is really. But I do enjoy. I enjoy cooking. I never enjoyed it in school. When we did it in school, I hated it because it's such a rush when you're in school. You're on to the next lesson, and they're trying to make you do it within an hour, and it's all and you're meant to be cooking a cake or whatever it may be, and it's just I don't like being rushed. I like my cooking to be slow, steady, relaxed process, nice, and I find I get the results from that. So I've really enjoyed cookery as an art form after school, not during school when I was doing it. And I wasn't bad at cookery in school. I was okay at cookery in school, but I'd never enjoyed it that much. And sometimes, on occasion, we'd be getting to the end of a lesson, I'd be rushing, and then that would mean that it didn't come out particularly brilliant. So I've enjoyed it a lot more recently. Over the last few years, especially the last year. I really say, I really do think the last year definitely. Anyway, I'm gonna go in a minute because I've just been rambling forever. Which supermarket sells Farmco? It is Sainsbury's, I guess. Tesco might sell it. I don't know, but yeah, Sainsbury's is the one that I get it from anyway. It is very nice. It is very nice. So hug a tree for me. Who I don't know what that's about, but okay. Where is the Farmco stuff from? I'd say Sainsbury's. I think that is. Hitman UK, what's the longest answer to a question you've ever given? I think it was that one, I think that one blooming takes it. But I like to go in depth. You see, with me, you don't get a flash in the pan answer. You don't get someone saying, oh yeah, that's that. If it's a yes or no question, like, was the Battle of Waterloo in X year? I don't know what year it was in. It was either 1805 or 1815, but I always get the Battle of Trafalgar and Waterloo or whatever it was mixed up. But if you say that was the Battle of Waterloo, was it yes or no? And then I say yes, right? Well, that's a standard answer, and I'll give you a standard answer. But if we're talking about something that has depth, has meaning, which is pretty much everything. Pretty much everything in some way has some meaning to someone, even if it's just a subjective meaning. I like to, answering questions to me, it's an art. It's not a, and the way I consider it an art is different to how other people consider it an art. Some people would say answering questions is an art in the form of how concisely and how effectively and how quickly you answer a question. Well, for my personal view, it's not necessarily how quickly you answer a question, but more so to what depth you answer it and to what meaning you pull out of it. because there's a lot of richness to every single question you get asked, unless, as I say, it's a closed question, like something I just mentioned. But if it's a more open-ended question, there's a lot of richness you can pull out of that, and I really like to get all of that richness out of it. It's like squeezing an orange, you know? You want to get all of that juice out of it, essentially. So that's what I like to do, you know, and that's my way of going about it. Now, will my way ever change? It probably won't, because it's just the way my brain's wired. I tend to answer things in a longer, slightly more meaningful, slightly more in-depth way. That's just the way I work. Whereas someone else's brain, in contrast to mine, would be effective, quick, you know, straight to the point. Unfortunately, that's not what you get with me, and I know that Hitman UK is aware of that very much so. So, yeah, that's kind of why I do give long answers to questions, and why I enjoy giving long answers to questions, because it provides meaning. It provides meaning. And if so, there's people who stick around. I may repeat myself a little bit, granted, but there is definitely more information there to gain. There's more stuff that you can see, that you can pull out of me, essentially, and that's nice, because it means it furthers what you understand, even if it is just from what you can see from my subjective opinion and experience, essentially. But it's, you know, that's how I like to work. I've always liked to work nice in depth like that. Anyway, let me. I think we'll go now, because we're coming to the end of the chat. And yeah, we will. I'll get going. So, Ads, can you remember the question you're talking about? Yeah, I can remember the question I'm talking about, which was the how long was the answer you were talking about question. I can't even remember what you said. Something about that anyway. How long is your longest answer to a question? Something like that. I don't know. So, I'll leave it there, because we've got naturally to the end of the chat. I'll probably be back on StreamYard next week, and we'll possibly have a few guests on next week, if people are willing to join me. I don't know, maybe they would like to join me, maybe they wouldn't, but we will be back on next week on StreamYard, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, you talk about the same thing a lot, but from a different point of view, so it's not a bad thing. No, I do talk about the same thing a lot from the same point of view. I talk about, what I do is I say an answer to a question, and then I'll repeat like half of the answer I've just said, and then what I'll do is add a little bit more to the answer, and then I'll go back and repeat another bit of what I already said, and then I'll do a little bit of a closure to the question that is maybe slightly new, but also that is reflecting on what I've already said for 3 times in a row. So that's kind of what I do, but I do add to it slightly. I do maybe do a, you know, I'll talk about what I'm talking about, then I'll add a little bit, then I'll reflect on what I already said, then I'll add a little bit more. But, you know, I could, if I was, let's say, wanting to improve the way I deliver questions in a more effective manner, I could still do the whole long, meaningful answer to a question. But if I was wanting to improve it in a reflective manner, at least, then, not in a reflective manner, what did I just say? I don't know. In an effective manner, that's what I just said, not reflective. In an effective manner, then essentially what I would need to do is, you know, essentially do the question as I do it, and then add to it, and then add to it, and then add to it, and then reflect, rather than add, then reflect, then add, then reflect on all of it again, then add, then reflect on all of it, then conclude by summing up everything that I've just said about 3 times. But, you know, what are you going to do? I don't have these skills. I don't possess these highbrow skills that these incredible business executives or, I don't know, psychologists or whatever it is. I don't know who possesses these skills, but I don't possess these things anyway. So, anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for watching tonight. We're on about an hour and a half, I guess. That's probably long enough. So, I will leave it there, and I will see you next week. So, see you very soon, guys. No, not yet.